Hi, my name's Lauren and I like to make bookish content, so book reviews, reading vlogs, book hauls, all of that good stuff. And today is a video that I am very excited for because it is a huge book haul, and with good reason. It has just been Christmas, so a lot of this book haul is made up of Christmas presents. And then also for Christmas, my husband got me some bookshelves. So I finally have somewhere to have physical books. It's very exciting for several reasons. I'm a huge reader, and growing up I had a massive bookcase in my bedroom. It was a bookcase that I had right from like being a baby, I think, and it stayed with me right up until I moved out at 25. And the house that I now live in is very small. There is not a lot of room for things, and the bookcases that we do have like more like coffee table type books on them. So I've never had anywhere for physical books, which is fine as I predominantly read on a Kindle anyway. One, just like it's easier, and two, obviously because of the space issue. I've had a Kindle for a very long time, I think since I first went away to university. And yeah, I've always just stuck to reading on Kindle, and Kindle will still predominantly be my main way of reading. But now that I have some bookshelves, I can finally have a physical collection of books. So when I started making bookish content, like in September kind of time, I bought a small bookshelf that sits on top of my bedside drawers. I'll put a picture in here so you can see what I'm talking about. So I've had this since September, as that's when I started buying some physical books. It started with Legends and Lattes and the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. They were the first two physical books that I'd bought in a very long time. That shelf very quickly filled up. So then I started thinking of how I could fit some other shelves somewhere in the house without it looking too cluttered. And I figured that there is a space, I will show you all this so it makes more sense in a little bit. There is like a space between the bed and the wall above my bedside drawers that perfectly fits some shelves. So the shelves have been up for, I want to say, just less than a month now. My husband did buy me them for Christmas, but then he put them straight up, and they've been sat empty waiting for this day where I can fill them, and I have ended up with far more physical books for them than I anticipated. As I said, a big chunk of them came from Christmas, and I will show those. I'll do like the Christmas ones first. However, I have also ended up with quite a few physical books throughout the month of December 2024. So I thought I would just lump those in with this as well, so we can do a huge book haul. And then after, I will show you the shelves, and then I will fill them and show you them all again. Like this is honestly one of the most exciting days for me. It really is. So we'll get on to it. I'll do all the ones that I got for Christmas first, because there are some absolutely stunning books here, and books that I am really looking forward to reading. So first up in the Christmas haul, we have The Hurricane Wars. And it's the one with the purple sprayed edges as well. I'm very excited to read this. I'd seen this one quite a lot, however I did not realise that it started out as Star Wars fan fiction. And I'm a bit of a Star Wars nerd these days, so I'm really excited to dig into this one and see what it's all about. Plus, it's a very pretty cover, and it's got very pretty purple edges. Two of what have to be probably my most anticipated reads for 2025 are Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. However, this intimidates me. I have mentioned in several videos that I am not a fantasy reader, and as you will see from these books, it's very fantasy heavy. Like, we've already had 3 fantasy books in this haul. I really want to try some fantasy in 2025, and I've dipped my toes in with cozy fantasy towards the end of 2024. However, I am well aware that books like this and The Hurricane Wars and some of the others that I've got coming up are very different to cozy fantasy. So this one, I would say, doesn't scare me as much. I think it scares me in terms of like how popular it is, and I'm worried that I'm just not going to get the hype. However, this one terrifies me. It is huge. Like, massive. And the whole like world building and all of that really scares me, but I am so excited to get stuck into these. I cannot wait to see like what everyone has been talking about with these books, and I know the third one is out in January. So I'm probably going to read these a little bit later in the year because these are the paperbacks. I do prefer paperbacks. So I won't be getting Onyx Storm until it is out in paperback, I'm afraid, because no part of me can buy a hardback when I've already got 2 paperbacks. Next up is another fantasy. However, I think this falls into the realm of cozy fantasy, and it is this, which is Shoestring Theory, and I believe it is about this cat which is called Shoestring. However, it's another very pretty sprayed edges book. Like, look at all the little pictures. There is a cat somewhere on here as well, there, right down at the bottom. And I believe this also has, yes, I'm not going to open it because of the whole like spine cracking thing, but it does have a signed book plate in there as well. This is just a stunning copy of this book, and again, it's another one I'm really excited about. This one doesn't intimidate me as much because it is cozy fantasy, and I feel like this one might be a little bit easier going. The next one, the squeal of delight I did, this book. So if you have watched my other videos, you will know that I love the Dream Harbour series, and the Pumpkin Spice Cafe in 2024 was quite the revelation for me because I did not think it would be my sort of book at all. I picked it up purely for the cover, and then I did a whole review for it, which I will leave below, and I did a whole reading vlog for the following 2 books, which I will also leave below. And like, I know the Pumpkin Spice Cafe is like Marmite, and I acknowledge it's not well written. However, when they bring out a special edition of it with edges that look like this, then you best believe that I am buying it. Like, there is so much detail on this. So first off, like, the dust jacket is that soft velvety material. It has orange edges on the top and bottom, and then obviously it has the pumpkin and leaf design. But then if we take off the dust jacket, the pretty details do not stop. Now, I don't know how easy this is going to be to show you, but it is foiled. So that is the front, then that is the back, and obviously the spine is also foiled, and then it has end papers too. So this is the front with Jeannie and Logan, and then this is the back with Jeannie and Logan again, but a bit more of the town on show as well. So this was a HarperCollins exclusive on TikTok Shop. It is no longer available, I'm afraid. This is the second run of the book that they did. I missed out the first time because I hadn't actually read the Pumpkin Spice Cafe the first time that they released this. And then I read it and I was bitterly disappointed that I'd not got the special edition. And then they were just going for crazy amounts of money on like eBay and Vinted. I'm talking like £100 for that book, and I love that book, but there is no way I'd be paying £100 for it. However, they then did a second run of it, and I snapped that up as a Christmas present to myself, and I am so glad that I did. I just need them to release all the other books that look like that now, so I can have a very pretty display of them. Next up, it's just, honestly, I don't even know where I'm going to start with my TBR in January and for the rest of 2025, to be honest, because there's just so many good books on this pile. I don't know where to start. But my husband for Christmas got me the Caraval box set. However, if you're from the UK, then you will instantly recognise that this is not the bog standard Caraval box set. If you're from America, you might not understand the hype, but in the UK, the Caraval book covers look like this. In America, you very lucky people got these stunning covers. So I was like, I want physical copies of the Caraval series, but I don't like the UK covers. So my husband bought me the box set with the American covers, and how nice are they? So this is Caraval, so that's the back. Then this is Legendary. And Finale. And something that excited me, that you also get in America that we don't get in the UK, is they are floppy books. We don't get floppy books in the UK. Like, let me find, I'll cheat. This is also a Stephanie Garber book that we're going to get onto. This is a standard UK book, and if we hold them up, you can see the American ones are bigger, but the American ones are also floppy books, which is very exciting. I've got the whole Caraval series to be working through. I feel like I will probably read Caraval sometime in January, because I feel like we just need a little bit of magic in January, and that might be the perfect place to go. But yeah, they are stunning books. Again, they're like the velvety covers as well, so they feel very nice. And then finally, in the Christmas part of this, is what has to be the most beautiful book that I have ever owned. And again, I have my husband to thank for this one, because he bought me this for Christmas. I've never really heard anything about this. When I saw the book, I looked up some TikTok videos and things about it, and I understand it's got like a lot of praise. It does come with some trigger warnings. I will say, if you plan on picking this book up, check out the trigger warnings. But it is Under the Oak Tree. So this got released as a limited run in this style. So it's got foiling. This is a hardback book, by the way, but it's got foiling on the cover. And then it's got sprayed edges. So it says, "The first moment I saw you, I knew you would ruin me." If that does not make you want to read the book, then I don't know what will. So I'm very excited. This is volume 1. I believe volume 2 is out sometime in the first half of 2025. And again, I'm really hoping that it's another like sprayed edge edition that they bring out. But I'm very excited for this book. Like, the blurb for it sounds incredible, and it is a very, very beautiful looking book. So they were all the Christmas ones. Now there's a couple of books that I picked up throughout December, or that I had bought for me throughout December, that I thought would just lump into this video as well, because why not? They're all going to be going on the new shelves. So first up are 2 children's books, but they are very beautiful editions of children's books. So the first one is Fox Goes North, and my mum actually bought this book for herself, and then she sent me some photos of it and told me the story behind it. So this was, the author is Jeremy Strong, and this was the last book he wrote. It sounds like a very sad book. He had cancer and he knew he was going to die when he wrote the book. So it's got a very sad backstory to it, and the actual story sounds really touching as well. And then not long after my mum bought it, this turned up on my doorstep, and she'd bought me a copy as well as a surprise. This also has a really nice cover if you take the dust jacket off it. So that is the front, and it says Friends, and then that is the back. And again, it's really hard because it's foiled, but it says To the End, so Friends to the End, which is just really cute. And that's, I think that might be a January book too, just for like those winter vibes. So I feel like it's going to be one that makes me cry though. Then the second children's book, a lot of these are foiled covers and they are so hard to show on camera, but just trust me, they are beautiful. And it is I Am Rebel. Now this is a cloth bound book with foiling, and this won Children's Book of the Year at Waterstones, and they brought this special edition out once it had won. It sounds really cute, and it does actually say on the back down here, "No dogs die in this book," which I thought was a really good disclaimer, because I really don't like animal stories where there's a lot of sadness in it. So I liked that it had that little disclaimer on it, and I knew that I was going to get sort of like a happily ever after with this story. But it's a beautiful edition. Then the next set of books were also a gift from my mum. So I was quite poorly at the end of November, and I had the flu, and I was feeling really down, and this is a series of books that me and my mum had been on about. And again, I woke up one morning feeling like death with the flu, and these were on my doorstep. And it is the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So obviously it's all 3 of them. So we've got Once Upon a Broken Heart, A Curse for True Love, and The Ballad of Never After. I know I've shown those in the wrong order, but it's just how I picked them up. So obviously I now have a little bit of a Stephanie Garber theme going on. There is going to be a Stephanie Garber shelf when I've styled it all. But I'll be honest, this series I was looking forward to more than Caraval. This was the series that I really wanted to read. But everyone recommends reading Caraval first and then reading the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So I was like, do you know what? We'll just get them all. So yeah, I'm really pleased that my husband got me Caraval and then my mum got me Once Upon a Broken Heart, and now I have them all. However, if you're a Stephanie Garber fan, you might realise that there is a book missing. But fear not, because I do also have Spectacular. Now there is a bit of a backstory to this one, because there were several versions of this book released in the UK. Again, Waterstones had an exclusive version of it. But around the time that Spectacular was released, a box set of Caraval, including Spectacular holiday editions, were released in America, but you could have them shipped to the UK. My mum has read Caraval before, and she saw the holiday box set and she was like, I'm going to treat myself, I'm getting the holiday box set for Caraval. However, she'd bought the special edition of Spectacular from Waterstones already, and she preferred the special edition of Spectacular to the one that came in the box set. So she's done something that might freak a lot of book collectors out and she's split the box set up. So I actually have the holiday edition of Spectacular now with the red sprayed edges, and she has the Waterstones exclusive version because that is the one that she preferred. However, neither of us are probably ever going to sell these books, so it doesn't actually matter that we have split them up because it's just between mother and daughter, so it's fine. But this looks a stunning book. And I know there are some illustrations in here as well. Oh look, it's opened on an illustration. So yeah, it just polishes off my Stephanie Garber collection quite fantastically. Now I just need to really hope that I enjoy all of these Stephanie Garber books now, having never read a single one of them in my life. But that is my entire book haul. I am super grateful for all the books that were bought for me. Some of these I bought myself as Christmas presents to myself, because you've got to be a little bit indulgent sometimes. But yeah, I am super happy to actually have a physical collection of books now for the first time in a very long time, and what a place to start with all of these books. So here we go, these are the empty shelves, and in the next clip they are going to be full of books. And there we go, all the books are on the shelves, and I could not be more happy with this. So along the bottom shelf I have all of the Stephanie Garber books now. Then the middle shelf is fantasy books, and the top shelf just has the fiction books on it. Obviously eventually I will have to change this display when I get more books, and they won't be able to be on angles anymore, but for now I am super happy with how all of that looks. I am so excited to dig into them. Do let me know if you've read any of these. No spoilers of course, because I haven't read any of them apart from the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. But yeah, let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know if you got any books for Christmas, and I will see you guys next time.